Hello everyone, welcome to the Talking Davos show, live from the studios in Davos. Today we have a very special guest.
Yemi Babington Ashaye, the head of the Global Shapers community, is with us. Good morning, Yemi.
Hi Wadia, hi Vijay.
So my first question, how many Davos is this one?
This is my ninth, but I've been here 10 years, and when you've been here 10 years, the forum has a special tradition where you're honored with a special pin, something called the Davos Circle. And the CEOs who've been here 37 years, a couple of them. There's one special person who's been here 46 years, Professor Klaus Schwab, of course.
Talking about Professor Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum, and since you are the head of the Global Shapers community, can you tell us more about it?
More about
the Global Shapers community and how it was created.
Okay.
And why it was created.
Yeah. Why it was created? Interesting questions. I'd say it was created because the forum decided that young people deserve a seat at the table. And one of the things the forum saw was that, especially in 2011, we saw a wave of uprisings, if you like, where governments were changed, economies transformed, and the people powering this change were young people themselves. And so it was really clear to the forum that there was an opportunity here for the world. Because as you know well, the forum is in the space of making the world a better place, looking for a unique problem that we can solve. And here you could see that the world has a challenge engaging young people. How do you integrate young people in decision-making processes? Similarly, some young people have a challenge shaping the agenda. Some young people think to change things, let me burn the school, let me burn cars. And there are more constructive ways to do this. So in that space, the forum saw an opportunity to help the world engage young people. And so the Global Shapers community was born.
And you spoke about shaping the agenda. What do you mean by that?
Tough question. Essentially, it is help determine what happens in the future. And that it can be very concrete. For example, do we build a bridge here? Yes or no? Or what is the educational curriculum for my primary school or for my university? Or it can even be more abstract in terms of the philosophies of what is our approach to migrants? What is the social security system? Do we want what they call a nanny state, or do we want everyone for himself or herself? So these processes determine how we live. And young people must be part of processes that determine how we live.
Okay, and since the community was formed, how have you shaped the agenda through this Global Shapers community?
Okay, I mean, again, how much time do you have? I would say maybe an example that comes to mind is something called Entrepreneurs in Public Policy. This is a project done by the Cape Town Hub, where they say that government is great at consulting big business, and the way they do it is they hold a conference. But for small business owners, they don't have time to go to conferences. You run a kiosk. If you go to a conference, you're losing money. So what the Shapers are doing is literally going around the city and meeting small business owners at their place of business, asking key questions, consolidating, and handing it over to government. So, and government is very receptive. In fact, they've asked the Cape Town Hub to do this in more places. We also have the Ahmedabad Hub that has a project they call Citizen Superheroes, where it's an app that allows citizens to report anything. For example, a street light goes out or there's a pothole, and this can be received by government. Of course, the second half of this has to be the government saying we are willing to receive. And of course, they're working on that. We have the Manila Hub that's building libraries. Again, getting books to people and places that don't normally have access. Now, these are not presidential libraries, just a space where you can get a book. So they've built libraries in schools, they've built libraries in prisons, where people can go, and absolutely this is shaping the agenda.
And you shared with us like 3 examples of projects. How many of these exist till now?
Right now we know we have over 300 hubs executing projects. Today we have 454 hubs worldwide, but executing a project is not magic, it's teamwork.
Yeah.
So it actually takes some effort for them to work together, decide what they want to work on, and execute it.
So after 4 years of the existence of the Global Shapers community, what is your vision of the next steps, or where do you see yourself heading? with the community?
Okay. Again, it's a great question. Now, Professor Schwab, for me, has the best answer to this question. Global shapers themselves will decide where we're going. And so what we must do is have an architecture that enables multiple possibilities, multiple futures. The vision we have is our mission. Have young people self-organize for impact, and have young people shape the agenda. If you ask me what I would love to see in the near future, I would love to see more hubs build a brand that is known and appreciated within their local community. So when I go and I say, I would like to visit the Paris hub, people know what the Paris hub is, or the London hub, or the Pune hub, or the Casablanca hub. People know, at least the local community appreciate shapers for the contributions to solving issues locally.
By the way, you were talking about Pune hub and different hubs. How many hubs do you have in your community?
Right now, 454 hubs across 169 countries and territories.
Okay. And you also spoke about shapers deciding themselves for the future. That kind of tells me there is that distributed leadership approach towards governance. Can you talk about the structure and governance of that community?
Okay, it's a good question. Now, we've opted for the distributed leadership structure from the beginning. If you like, there's the centralized, which many people agree is old school. There's decentralized, which is quite popular. What's key about the Shapers community is we're not even decentralized, because decentralized often means there are nodes. Maybe there's an Africa unit or America's unit, and everyone reports in. No, we go for distributed. So our network is actually scattered. Each hub is independent. They have their own logo with their own name. They make their own decisions. They pick their own members. Of course, all of this is consistent with a charter that they all agree to. And so this means, because we share a purpose, we can trust that every node in the network will be coordinated, and every node's actions raises the level for everybody. And so that's what we mean by distributed leadership. We do not want shapers to ask for permission to do what they're supposed to be doing in their communities. They must work together within their communities and make these decisions. I hope this answered your question.
That answers my question.
So, here in the annual meeting in Davos, we have global shapers who are present as participants.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about how the shapers are integrated in forum events?
Okay, definitely the World Economic Forum is the biggest supporter of the Global Shapers community. And so every year we are privileged to have shapers join the conversation at forum meetings. In Davos every year we have 50 global shapers. This year, for the first time ever, a shaper is a co-chair of the World Economic Forum's annual meeting in Davos. A lady called Amira Yahyawi, who is a global shaper in the Tunis hub. She's a political activist, and she's here engaging the community, all the attendees on the theme of the annual meeting. Now, shapers are invited to shape the agenda, not to sit down and warm the chair, or to at the back of the room, or to take notes. And so we bring shapers in, and we advocate for them equal treatment, and the forum gives them equal treatment with CEOs, presidents, ministers. This year we have a record 31 speaking roles in the official program. Some of these speaking roles involve shapers moderating a session with participants at the annual meeting. Now this shows incredible trust in young people and in global shapers, and it makes the global shapers community the most powerful and most influential community of young people on the planet.
Yemi, we spoke a lot about global shapers community. I want to touch upon you as a person, as a leader. So you went to Harvard, did development economics, then you also got a management degree, MBA at MIT.
Yeah.
And you also worked in government, in the government of Nigeria. And how do you see you growing as a leader, moving between these organizations, World Economic Forum, working in government of Nigeria, and how these organizations are evolving?
Yeah, he asks easy questions, right? I think that when you say this, it makes me remember that when I finished high school, I did not want to go to university. And I forgot this example, except I was mentoring some family relatives. And at this time, my little sister said to me, Yemi, do you remember that you didn't want to go? And everything came flooding back. And actually, at some point, I told my family I wasn't interested in university education. I wanted to start working. I had some business ideas. I was ready to go. And my parents got upset. And my father confiscated my passport. And I was housebound for almost 7 months until I decided to go. Now, everything you described is only possible because of that period in my life. And I'm very happy I listened to my parents. Now, you asked me, how is my leadership evolving? I think that I've definitely learned that it's really important to work with the best people. You must never be afraid. You must never be afraid of hiring people better than you. And your job as a leader is to provide a space where they can not only do what they need to do, but they can also flourish and grow. And it's very easy to want to be the best person in your team. And I don't believe that. I think for those who are Beatles fans, I know it's a different generation, you will remember the story of John Lennon building his team, and Paul McCartney shows up for the audition. And John Lennon thinks, oh, he's too good. Can't have this guy. Then one of the other people on the team say, listen, what if he goes to join another band? And John has to rethink, I want him on my team, and he hires him. And so in my leadership journey, I've actually learned to follow the people I'm supposed to lead. There's much more I can say, but I would say that's maybe an answer to your question.
All right. That's Yemi Babington Ashaye, head of the Global Shapers community, live from Davos. Stay tuned. We have more sessions coming this evening. Thank you for watching us today. Follow us on #ShapingDavos.